Good day. Welcome to a rather breezy first segment of this first part of this week's A Week at the Plot. It is really breezy, but I'm loving this site. Can you see them? Oh, it's just glorious. Let's have a look at them from different angles. They're like some sort of alien beings that have landed here. So these are our marvel of 4 seasons that have given us fantastic harvests for months. We're now harvesting these at the side, which aren't marvel of 4 seasons. Can't remember those, what variety these are rather, but yeah, but look at them. They really are. I mean, maybe this is going to be the type of creature that's in the new Aliens film, but they do look like a sort of family of aliens, and I rather love them. And of course, as you know, we're saving seeds from them. Flowers will come from here, and yeah, it'll just be sort of fabulous. But you know, even though these are now quite bitter and aren't giving us harvests, the joy of seeing these when I came down today, some of these have grown about a foot in the last couple of days. I mean, they're really going, yeah, we want to throw up seeds, we want to go to flower and then give you seeds, which is just glorious. Another thing which is really going for it, not surprisingly, are our courgettes. That's maybe, what's that, almost a foot in here. Another one about the same. And then over here, look, there's 2. Let's get my hand in there. Oh, can you see? Yeah, that's so there's 2 there. This one seems to be doing really well as a plant. In fact, they're all doing well apart from this one. This one's not doing quite as well as the others. I don't think we've had a harvest from this one yet. All the others we have. The sun and the sort of weather we've had has really strengthened up these tomatoes, and I think they're ready to be strung up now, so we'll be doing that this week. And look at this marjoram. Oh, look at these fat bumblebees. Look at them. God, they're loving the lavender this year. I mean, they love the lavender anyway. Where the oregano, there are a few honeybees on here, but sorry, a few bumblebees, but you'll most probably see mainly honeybees. Is that one going into focus here? So lots of honeybees and butterflies. There's, I think, a copper there. I don't mean a policeman, I mean a copper butterfly. Oh yeah, but that's rather glorious. Bit difficult to walk past to do the watering, but I really love it at this time of year. It's quite a splendid plant. As I say, marjoram, I think, rather than oregano. I think it's marjoram. I think they're virtually the same, aren't they? But I think it's marjoram. Oh yeah. Anyway, I've got a few jobs to do. Oh, and that sunflower's reached the top of its pole now, so I'm going to need to secure it again at the top to make sure it doesn't blow over. Let me just show you something else that I've noticed before I go into the poly. This is our cultivated blackberry, and look, and here we're going to be harvesting from that maybe tomorrow, I think, which is fabulous. And I need to tie this up to here, because this is going to give us another line across. But yeah, I need to tie that up, but that can be done another day. Actually, you know what, this this plot is giving me rather a lot of joy today. It really is. And our alien lettuce, our alien marvel of 4 seasons, our marvel of our alien lettuces. Another rather joyous sight today is these marvel of 4 seasons seeds which have germinated. So this is the compost that we used for the borlotti that didn't germinate, and a few people said to me, well, maybe it's the compost, that the compost wasn't very good. Well, I didn't think that was the reason, and now that I see that these lettuce have germinated, I'm sure it wasn't the reason. I mean, good thinking, but I was pretty sure that the compost was fine, and certainly it seems to be. These are going to need a water. But what I am going to do today, there's 2 things. I'm going to get these peppers in, but I think I'm going to put them here in the poly rather than outside. So I've taken some coriander out here and at the back here, and the one that we saved seeds from was here. The stalk was still there, and there's a bit of space there. We're saving seed from this lettuce, and as you know, we're saving seeds from this lettuce. You can see the seeds there. There was another one of these lettuce at the back here, and I've taken it out because we don't need 2 of those. These 2 are different varieties. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is put the peppers in spaces. So that's the 6 peppers that we got from Guernsey in. They came from Guernsey in our luggage in a little jam jar, you might remember. And what I must remember to do is tie up these courgettes that we've got here. No, these are gherkins. So I want to tie this one up here. There's one here, and there's a melon over here. So I want to tie those up so that so that the ground is sort of freer, particularly with those peppers growing, because I don't want the sort of harsh, rough stems of the gherkins to brush against the peppers in the wind, particularly this one, which might, because I do leave the polytunnel door open and pegged. You can see it's pegged at this time of year. One thing I also need to do, I notice here, is we put these gazanias a few weeks ago. That one's gone over. This one here has also gone over. So I'm going to deadhead. We've got another one coming up there. We've got that one coming out, obviously. We've got one there. We've got one down there. We've got that one coming out. So yeah, good to deadhead anything like that. How are the others doing? Let's have a look. Yeah, they're doing fine. And what's also in there, I've just noticed, a tomato, a volunteer tomato. Hey ho. It was my intention to put the peppers outside, though I was looking at a forecast earlier and it said that the heat that we were expected to get from sort of like a few days time onwards was actually not going to happen, and we're going to stay around this temperature that we are at the moment, with a lot of wind, a really drying wind, so keep on top of your watering if you're in the UK. Really drying wind and relatively mild temperatures for this time of year. So I thought, actually, you know what I'm going to do to give them the best opportunity is put them in the poly, because the poly is always, certainly during the day, is a good few degrees higher than outside. It's also sheltered from the winds, so any cooling winds, chilling winds that come, which we might like outside because of the heat, they won't like. So I put them in here, and all I need to do is make sure I feed them and make sure I water them. Also, if we're going to have a summer which is a mix between sort of milder summer weather and hot summer weather, then I think it's sensible to have them in here where they can develop a good root system, because if our summer and the beginning of our autumn is not warm, they're going to be better in here to have a better chance of coming to fruit. So yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see how they do in the coming days. But yeah, my plan originally was put them outside. They'll get lots of sun out there and do really well. Though with that forecast I saw this morning, and with how the weather has been over the past few days, if we continue to get this weather over another sort of week or possibly even more, yeah, better they're in here than out there. Though I have to say, things out there that are now getting established or well established are doing well, and certainly the beans are getting to the top of their canes. Right, I am really pleased about those Marvel of Four Seasons having germinated. You may remember that seed that Vivi gave me, commercial seed Vivi gave me a year or so ago. So yeah, I'm really pleased that we have that. I might see if some other plot holders around here have got some seedlings, because I know that there's going to be a gap in our harvesting of lettuce between the other those really wrinkly ones, red wrinkly ones that we've got out there, which I must try and find out exactly what variety they are, rather than calling them the red and wrinkly ones. Yeah, okay, I'm going to leave it here for this first segment of this first part of A Week at the Plot. As you know, if you watched last week, we're experimenting by splitting A Week at the Plot into two parts each week through the month of July. So we'll see how that does. And yeah, we'll see how that does. And I will report it in August. But we're going to be doing some seed sowing tomorrow, and some seed sowing that I hadn't expected to do. So yeah, right, I'm going to finish it here, and I'm going to go outside and do watering, because as I say, that wind is very drying, and therefore we need to keep on top of our watering. See you very soon. Bye. Good day. Oh, big butterfly. Yesterday I brought down compost, and today I brought down shredding. And because I took out all those brassicas a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to use all of this bag. Instead of putting it into our shredded paper bin, I'm going to use all of it and just top up one of our compost bins, because then it will really soak up the moisture as those brassicas break down. It's just starting to rain as well, which is rather nice. and I'm sort of quite pleased about that, because A, we want the rain, but B, I've got some jobs to do in the poly, so I'll do that. But I've got some more courgettes. The courgettes are coming thick and fast now. That one's fine for salads, and then these two will go into a courgette and potato soup. First time making it this year, which will be lovely. I've given the peppers a good watering. We put these in yesterday, you'll remember. I still need to tie up that melon, that gherkin, and that gherkin over there. What I did notice when I was coming down, yeah, I obviously wasn't watching what I was doing when I was putting my shoes on. Richard always says that I'm quite special. Maybe this proves it. The seeds I'm going to be sowing today are these little brown pellets, aren't they? They're Brassica seeds, and these are seeds from our cross of Nero di Toscana and Portuguese cabbage. You may remember, if you've been watching us for, well, a long time, that Portuguese cabbage is something that we really like. It has big broad leaves. It's like kale. It doesn't form a head like a cabbage, but it's something that we really do like. And when I sowed some seeds last year, I think it was, or was it even the year before, when they came up, there were seeds that I had saved. When they came up, some came up as this cross. So we've saved seeds from this cross to see if, when we sow them, it comes true. Now we've got one in the bed in front of me, or on the other side of the plot, and that I'm sure is a seed that has come true, because very often when you do have crosses, they will revert to one or the other when you sow them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And the reason I'm not sowing Portuguese cabbage or dazzling blue kale is because I want to see whether these have a propensity to go through the winter quite well. Because you may remember, because we had such cold winter last year, quite a few of the stems of our Portuguese cabbage went mushy, and that's because that stem of the Portuguese cabbage is much more spongy than Nero di Toscana or dazzling blue kale. I hadn't expected to be sowing brassicas. I thought our house sale would be sort of quite advanced by this stage, and we would know that we were moving this year. But who knows, you know, it's such an odd time for mortgages, and interest rates have rocketed, making mortgages much more expensive, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sort of hedging my bets by sowing these seeds. Sowing them now, we'll be planting them out maybe in September, or likely in September. So I think we'll get some harvests before the winter sets in, but then they will really overwinter and give us harvests sort of in the spring. So yeah, I'm going to sow these, and unusually I'm going to sow them into module trays. One of these. I normally sow them into bog standard seed trays, and then I prick them out and either put them into modules or put them into pots individually. But this time I'm just going to sow one seed per module, and if the seed doesn't germinate, then I will sow another one. If it does germinate, then great, and we will be able to see from 15 cells the quality of germination from this seed. It's been kept in the fridge since it's been harvested in this little jar, so I'm hoping that it'll germinate well. Time will tell. So literally, one seed per module. Put two there. And obviously I'm Popping this right in the centre. It will be interesting to see how these germinate, i.e. what the quality of the germination is. Right, that's 15 seeds. I'm putting these back in to my jar. That's going to go back in the fridge. It will come back down if we need to re-sow. Just popping them down. Yeah, there is one there. Popping them down just about a centimetre. And just pressing down to make sure that the compost is in good contact, and then the rest, surplus compost, can just come off. That's that seed sown, and we'll see how it germinates over the coming week or so. It's spitting, definitely. It stopped raining, but it's definitely spitting again now. And you know what? I'd quite like it to carry on like this for the rest of the day, but I'm not sure it will. However, I'm going to go home now and work at my desk, and hopefully I'll be back down here later to do more off-camera work, which is sort of mainly going to be weeding. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here for this first part of this week's A Week at the Plot. If you're on Planet Vegetaria, there'll be other segments as we go through the week. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a part 2 along in just a couple of days. Happy growing. Bye.